FM
102.2 Auckland.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast. The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Kiwi.
Joining us now in the Kiwi studio, Mr. Jason Kerrison. Kiro Radio Show, as some might know him as well. G'day there, Jason.
G'day, Wham Guts. How are you, bro?
OPSHOP, of course. Good. Yes, I'm very good. It's nice to see you.
Great to see you too, man.
Yeah,
really,
gosh, feels like it's been a long time.
Well, it has.
Yeah.
It has been a long time. It's almost at least 18 months since I've seen you in the flesh, man.
Man, what's been going on? Oh, you've been very busy.
Yep.
You've been overseas touring with the band.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of stuff, mate. Just been cracking on, really.
To Asia?
Yeah, well, Asia was only just a couple of weeks ago. Asia was, maybe just over a fortnight ago. And we've got a guy on the ground who's working for us there, Heath Wind, and man, he's just going crazy.
What does he do? Is he pimping CDs out on the street?
He's pimping and hustling pretty much, mate. Yeah, I think he actually started off pretty much like that, and it got to a point where he was like, I've got you on the radio now. We're like, yeah, sure, man, whatever. And you never know. I mean, there are a lot of talkers out there, and don't get me wrong, we've been really good close friends, and for all the more reason that you doubt. But it turns out that when we turn up in Singapore, there's billboards of us in the street, and
wow, billboards.
You're
not even on billboards here.
I know. It's like billboards and stuff, and mind you,
what are you doing on the billboards?
Oh, looking staunch.
Yeah.
Looking quite
the
staunch
classic
and angry.
OPSHOP poses.
Yeah, like completely motionless.
Right.
Motionless and emotionless. But the weird thing with Singapore is that there's in all probability no one saw them because there's no one in the streets in Singapore. It's a complete subterranean existence in Singapore, and we only found that in almost like the...
Because it's too damn hot, isn't it?
It's ridiculously hot. It's so hot and 100% humid, so they all live underground.
So the billboards were really cheap.
They were really cheap, real cheap inventory space.
But it's the posters in the subways that are really expensive.
Yeah, didn't see any down there. Didn't see any of those down there, no.
Oh, well, so that led obviously to at least a few people turning up to some gigs.
Well, we were fortunate that Heath had by that stage had us on lots of TV and lots of radio. In fact, when we pulled up to our hotel because we were doing a festival, the Rock and Roots Festival, and the Rock and Roots Festival was with Benavista Social Club and the Gypsy Kings and Jules Holland and the Fray, and. And the other thing is, playing with those kind of musos, it was just awesome, incredible. And Jules is just such a lovely, down-to-earth professional guy. The Fray, on the other hand, are just young twits who I don't think have that much gratitude for what they have, Hopefully that'll come round, but interesting. A few tantrums thrown on stage that night. It was very, very funny. But, we were fortunate enough to get over to Asia and, as you say, had a really good audience here, so it was awesome.
That's cool. So it's been, 2007 the last album came out?
Yeah, that's right. Secondhand Planet in 2007.
Now, when you think about the trajectory of OPSHOP, the first album came out and there was some great singles and it got a bit of radio airplay, and then you guys went no, and then perhaps you cruised for a little bit, and then there was and then you guys sort of fell off the radar, and then this 2007 album came out, and then it went and it was you was like into space, and you're still going.
Well, I mean...
how's the ride been?
Well, we've tried to disappear, to be honest, because, it's one of those things, once you've gone as far up as you can perceive, the only way from that point is down, so we'd rather just kind of disappear quietly and get on with our work, and then come back with what we've finished and do a bit of a show and tell. And then effectively, I guess that's where we're starting today. It's the old pimp and hustle once again, come around. And, I mean, that's not the only reason, obviously, I'm turning up here today, where I want to just come and say hi.
Oh, sure, yeah. After 18 months. Yeah.
After 18 months. No texting, no writing, no emails.
No, not even
nothing.
any Facebooking.
No. Oh, you're on Facebook. I see you buzzing.
Buzzing? Yeah, I'm on the buzz.
I don't really know how
no
to
one
do
else
the buzz.
is. I'm all alone.
Well, I've got 1,000 potential buzzers. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? You don't know either,
Nothing,
do
bro.
you?
You don't want to get in there.
Okay, I don't want to go there. That's
you don't want to see what I've been up to in there.
Oh, yuck. Okay, so, no, we've been kind of busy not being busy. We've been busy just trying to keep quiet and get on with the work. So last year we came off a winery tour, and the very next day just went into not a studio, we just hired a big space, a big warehouse space, and dubbed it Opville, and literally just turned it into a job, really, Well, a job where you turn up at 11 o'clock and leave whenever you do.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's 11:30, sometimes it's 11:30 the next day, depending on where the muse takes you.
Yeah.
But over a period of about 4 months, we just threw a few things against the wall and a few things stuck. And by the end of that process, we had probably about 30 or 40 ideas that we ended up taking into Roundhead.
Cool.
And yeah, from that point on.
So the warehouse thing was only just the ideas space.
Yeah.
Wasn't the recording space.
No. And although we did have, it was a very strange way of doing things for us. It was, everyone had their laptops in there. We had quite a few different workstations. I had done a...
That's dangerous. Half the time everyone's on Twitter or Facebook or something.
We didn't. Yeah. I don't think we made eye contact once.
Yeah.
Like the whole 4 months we were there.
Yeah, bro, don't like that song.
Yeah, Skype me, bro. You're on the other side of the room. Yeah. Skype me, bro. So it was an interesting process. We would, because we had a Wi-Fi network set up in there as well, just for the op kids, so we could. Yeah, well, we were lucky enough that Matt Tracy is a bit of a tech geek, and in his daytime job, he's a computer engineer. So he brings in all this stuff, and suddenly we're all Wi-Fi'd up. And
now, if you had given me a call, I could have wired you up for cameras. Could have sorted you out.
Hey, right.
The whole process could have been documented, streamed out live.
Well, we could do that
in the future. Next time, you give me a call.
Okay. So I'd done a course on Logic Audio, and Logic Audio is this incredible creative platform for listeners who aren't sure about what that is. It's kind of like, you might have heard the term Pro Tools. It's kind of the other side of that. And so I was running that, and had become reasonably proficient at it, and it got to a point where I was actually like playing all Bobby's drum beats on keyboards and just dialing up all these MIDI files and stuff. And the thing is, Bobby didn't even bring his drum kit into the studio until pretty much the last month of this 4 month period, because we were just firing MIDI files back and forth to our computers. Then he would tidy them up on his computer and send them back, and then we'd put it back into the project. So it would end up sounding like Bobby's playing without him even having hit a drum.
Wow, so he's basically unemployed.
Well, yeah, I've become the drummer of the band. Yeah. I'm the MIDI drummer. And
sounds like
he's
a
our live drummer.
A lot of tinkering going on there. A lot of technological.
Yeah. Well, we needed to do something different. We felt like there had been certainly a lot of expectation about what the shop would release next and what it would sound like.
Do you feel that? Is that like a huge weight?
I don't know that it's a huge weight, but it's kind of what's around. It's in the air. And you take a gauge of it, but I don't know that necessarily drives the navigation. You just kind of take its pulse and go, okay, that's interesting. That's where you perceive us going. And as musicians, we just really wanted to try some new stuff. And by that stage, there were some really new toys, and people were willing to give us free toys, so we usually took them, and and often made use of them.
When's the album out?
The album's not out until the 2nd of August, but it's been finished for a couple of months. It's just that whole nature of the commercial cycle. Our rhythm method, our distributors said it would be better for us to release it.
What's it going to be called?
Until the End of Time. Which I happen to
have
a close idea of when that is, if you're wondering.
Yeah, I know you do. But actually, while we're on the topic, before we go, I do want to ask you, ash cloud in Europe, is it end of days?
Well, it's an ash cloud in Europe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I was watching the news last night, right? And there's the two ash cloud in Europe, keeps airplanes on the ground. And it's like, well, this is like one of those newsreels you see from the future.
Yeah. And I certainly think it's interesting times, that's for sure.
Yes. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Tell me about the new single.
Pins and Needles. So it was out yesterday, and the very start of the single. Did we just give you like?
Yeah. I'm going to play it.
So
we can go out on it.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so the start of it is very Mahler-ish. It's just very epic. And what had happened is I'd left Clint and Matt to their own devices on this Logic machine, and they just layered up some beautiful stuff. And we ended up printing out the MIDI files and getting an actual orchestra in Tetbury in the UK to finish it, because we did a part of the record over in Modern World Studios as well. And for the tech geeks, once again, there's this thing called a SSL duality disc, which provides this beautiful warm harmonic that usually digital recordings are pretty devoid of. So
nice.
It just sounds flash. It sounds like a real band. It's amazing. So Pins and Needles has not only got those production qualities, but the start is a mixture of all these MIDI files, and then some actual playing musicians playing violins and what have you. But yeah, pins and needles. It's the whole thing with pins and needles, isn't it? It's like the scourge of inaction. So if you fail to move, by the time you choose to move, your limb doesn't want to cooperate with you anyway. It's actually hard to move and it hurts. So
2 nights ago, woke up with the deadest arm, and I was, I had a half asleep sort of state. I was so worried it was never going to wake up, and I was worried I was breaking it. You know, when you get the roll, oh no, I'm going to break it.
Yeah, so I mean, you can take that on any metaphorical level you want, but that's kind of the thing that we're working with.
Cool. Thanks, Jason Kerrison from OPSHOP.
Thanks, Wammo.
And here we go. Pins and needles. It's your first listen this morning.